Welcome back to another Subbuteo training video. Today we're going to be looking at shooting from inside the box and different areas. There's two stages to this drill. The first stage requires you to just get used to chipping the ball and shooting from the different ranges we're going to be looking at, and then the second stage introduces some defenders. So first things first with this drill, make sure you have some sort of barrier that you're going to be chipping over when doing this. I've got a super slide sort of imitation goalie, I suppose, I can position in the goal. Before this I used Jenga bricks and they did the job just as good, to be honest. And if you've got someone who can hold a goalkeeper, even better. So in this first stage we're just looking at getting used to chipping the ball from these different areas on the pitch. The first area we work from is the furthest away from the goal. In the game this is an area you will probably take a few shots from if you can't work the ball further into the pitch. It's quite a difficult angle to get your shots in from, so don't expect every single one to go in. I mean, it's like a 20 to 30% success rate, I'd say, so don't be too harsh on yourself from that sort of distance. So the next area we look at is a slightly nicer angle for us. In a game, you would probably try and work it into this sort of area before taking a shot. So we want to, again, just make sure we're pretty consistent with this type of shot within a game. We're looking at like a 60% success rate with this. So if you're taking 10 shots, 6 of them should be going in, really. If not a few more, but don't be too harsh on yourself and don't get too worked up about the numbers either. After this, move into the optimum sort of angle that we want from when we're in a game. This gives you a lot more of the goal to aim at, and we want to get really consistent with this. This should be a high percentage chance. We should be converting a lot of these when we're in a game. I'm now going to leave you with the live version of me explaining stage 2. Okay, so in this second stage, I really want to talk about defenders first and where to place them, how to have them, what the aim of it all is, and pros and cons and why we're doing it and all that sort of stuff. So for me, when I come to this second stage, I want to make it, you can't make it game realistic because you're not playing a person, and these players will be in completely different positions when you play a game, and it may only be the one defender, you may not have these. It's all sort of, there's so many different scenarios that you can't really replicate it. So what I kind of do to kind of make myself feel more comfortable when playing a good opponent especially, is that they're going to make it as difficult as possible for you to score. That's their aim, and they're very good at it. They're very precise with their blocks. They're very precise with everything else. So the thing I try and think is I'm going to make my shooting practice really awkward as possible. I still want to get a shot away because obviously if you're not going to take the shot in the game, pointless trying to take the shot in the practice. So here, like it's not awkward, but there's a player in front of the ball, so there's going to be a deflection. There's a player here, which makes my hand positioning a little bit awkward, and that's the point. Is like I want to make this stage as awkward as possible, so then it prepares me for an actual in-game situation, which will be completely different, but you feel a bit more comfortable when it comes to situations that you're not comfortable with normally. So with this, you kind of just like, okay, I've got a player in front of the ball, I've got a player here, I'm going to try to take the shot. You know, I need to probably get this ball into him to get the lob. Not always going to happen, and it's a case of that there really wasn't enough chip on that. So in this scenario, you know, you just switch it up and keep on using different ways to play the defenders. Like you can have it like that. That's a really awkward position because you can't really put a finger there. You've also got to be careful of touching this man here. So in here, you've got to be like that, and that's it. But that's a goal. I've not touched him. The player's touched him. The ball's affected him, and then it's gone in. But that's an awkward situation because I'm not having a perfect flick. Now, if you want to add more defenders, you can do, and then maybe put defenders here, which means that you're being careful with your hand touching heads below here. But yeah, play around with it. Don't just follow the sort of strict regimented, like, don't repeat the same sort of formation around the player each time. You can do if you want to sort of if you're trying to practice your deflections and you want to just keep doing that, then yeah, obviously practice the deflections. But if you're trying to practice sort of being uncomfortable, then you need to put the defenders in different positions at all times. So make sure that you're doing that, basically. That's my little sort of thoughts about these defenders in the stage 2, and I'll just show you sort of each area that we practice from in the next sort of section of videos. Okay, so back to pre-recorded Sam. Hello, everyone. Yeah, so as I was mentioning in that clip there, the whole point of this is to make it a realistic situation, or as realistic as possible. because there are so many different scenarios, but it's about us getting used to having players in front of the ball, players in awkward places, so we become more comfortable taking these sort of shots on. Again, in the second stage, we work through the 3 different areas, so we work from the furthest part out on the pitch, work into the middle a little bit, and then a bit closer to the goal. And with each stage, again, have all the defenders around the ball. Try and practice some deflections, try and practice just chipping it over the players. Just do a whole different combination in each section. And this, in the end, gets you quite comfortable with taking shots with players around you and learning different ways to sort of approach a shot as well. Okay, so hopefully that has covered everything with this shooting drill. More shooting drills to come, and this is now definitely the longest video I've had on the channel, so thank you for sticking with it if you've made it this far through. Hopefully these drills will help you a little bit, and I'll see you in the next video.